Hold on, I'll find some stuff for us to talk about.
We could talk about the worm.
The worm. Who's the worm? We'll start. Hey, it's Eric and Brian today on the Eric and Carson show.
Hi.
Because and even though that the rule is the reason why my name's on top is because I've been in radio longer. Brian's been in radio longer than me, and I'm still taking the top spot because I'm me.
You're you. Yes.
So what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. A little hungover today.
Have you been
Had a late night.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun last night.
Yeah, we did.
I invited Nathan to this, but he doesn't want to come to it.
I think he's scared.
Well, I would be if I were him too. Are you kidding me? He works for a big radio conglomerate, and they like to lop off heads, so it wouldn't be at all of a problem if they just lopped his off as well.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as that's the problem when you're working at one of those places that's undergoing so many radical cuts all across the board. You'd like to think that they're keeping you because they want you to because they see value in you.
Right.
But it's really just no, it's not that at all. As a matter of fact, the more high profile you are, the worse.
Yeah. The high profile people have all been fired in our industry. You know, I was at the gym today, and they had Channel 12 on at one of the TVs during when the news. Mm-hmm. And I guess there's something going on with. Well, actually, today's the deadline, I believe, for GM and Chrysler to demonstrate that they're solvent.
Yeah.
So they throw this graphic up at the end of the story that has the ABC 12 logo, ABC12.com logo. Then it says economy crumbling and continuing coverage. So they're saying keep it to Channel 12 and we'll keep you up posted as we cover the economy, continue to cover it. Where don't you see it?
Especially.
I mean, honestly, this town or anywhere. I mean, this the whole nation. It's people are talking about it wherever you go. It's in every newspaper. You're in the grocery store. Your friends get together. It is the top. It is on the top of everybody's mind.
And didn't we actually, as friends, we all decided the other day that we wanted to stop discussing the economy at the table because it was because we were beering it up, and that's all we were discussing was. I mean, it was with Brian, and
Your friend Brian.
It's amazing because all you wind up talking about anymore is how fucked this economy is.
Yeah,
and it is.
Yeah,
you never know what to do,
and especially if you're unemployed like we are.
Yeah, exactly.
It's your whole day.
Yeah, because you're always just thinking about like what the hell am I gonna do?
Yeah, like today I'm standing at the gym and I go into the steam room and the gym I go to. Hey, no.
Hello, sailors.
There's a lifeguard, a young guy that used to listen to the Banana, and
how many? You can't. But it's actually no, this isn't bad. A lot of people, you hear that a lot, don't you? Yeah, I used to listen.
I do. You do hear. I have heard that a lot. And you wonder if people are playing it up for your benefit. Or
did they say that when you were still working there to you?
No.
Okay.
But anyway, so he says to me, "Hey,
you can't go any further."
No, I can't.
Terrible.
He says, "Hey, did you find a job yet?" And I just looked at him like it's 12:30 on a Tuesday. I'm standing by the pool at Hurley Health and Fitness in a bathing suit. What do you think? Did I find a job? What do you think?
Well, you never know. They could have accepted an offer and they're just doing the paperwork. That could be going on. Maybe that's what he's thinking. He's thinking ultra.
He's being, optimistic.
Yeah.
Which you don't see a whole lot. So anyway.
Especially today, the stock market has taken a gigantic shit.
Yeah.
248 down. I don't even know.
I think as a nation we're too preoccupied with the stock market. I really do.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah, I think. As Ronald Reagan said one time, don't confuse the economy with the stock market.
Right.
And of course, one thing reflects the other, but. Really, the stock having met with one of the most disappointing things that I ever had to do was the company we used to work for is traded publicly. Mm-hmm. So there were some misconceptions on Wall Street about radio. And what happens is you have these people that rate your industry.
Yeah.
And then specifically your company. And there are these investment houses, and everybody just does what these people say.
Right.
There's probably about, I don't know, half dozen of them or a dozen. So there was this one group that had been particularly critical of our company.
Is it always Wachovia?
No, I can't recall.
Fucking Wachovia. How about you shove it up your ass? Enough with Wachovia. Fuck you and your 9-syllable name.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
This outburst at Wall Street brought to you by boredom. Boredom leading the free time of the unemployed.
Should have been on the highway with him. So anyway, these people come in from Wall Street, and the CEO of our company arranges a meeting in Flint. I don't know why they chose Flint, but
we can compete in this.
Maybe that's what it was. So we're sitting there, we're talking, and it's us, it's the management team over there, and the Wall Street people, and as they're they're giving their objections to radio as an investment, and they're talking a little bit about asking questions, and you can tell, wow, this really isn't about. This has nothing to do with how solvent or how successful this company is. It has to do with your perception of that success.
Wow.
So in other words, what I'm getting at is all this buy and sell value on Wall Street, it's all perceived value. It's not actual value.
Yeah, you're right. And investors have never understood radio.
No, and it makes me wonder if they're that wrong about my industry. They must be that wrong about most industries.
Well, I think even my dog understands that the American automakers are having problems.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I said most.
Yeah, exactly. But what's the other? Like the banking industry and the auto industry is insolvent, right?
That's what they're saying.
Is that? But based on just a couple of articles I read by some guy named Tom, they will fucking tell you that those are real problems out there.
Yeah.
So. My question is, are there maybe there are other industries that they don't know anything about, like radio they clearly don't know anything about. But then again, you and I are biased,
right? But what about
because
logging?
You're right.
Well, yeah. I mean, every industry has its idiosyncrasies. Every industry has things that aren't apparently obvious.
Yes.
About what makes them go and what doesn't make them go. That you can't just break it down to a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And say, okay, this company is successful because of this cash flow or well, I think cash flow is actually what I was going.
I think cash flow is an excellent thing to have if you're a company.
I was out
when it's
late.
coming in. It's like, wait a minute. What we need to do is get this cash flow problem taken care of.
Actually,
plug that hole. Get a finger in that dike.
If you're ever in a job interview, just say cash flow a couple times. They love it.
You're in.
You're in. Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I went to. But I go to this though. Is that the one thing that is true? Is the credit, and that's always something I was harping on this for years. Is that I thought that we all as a country have always been a little bit too frivolous with debt, and that of course with Dick Cheney coming out, deficits don't matter. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, Dick Cheney as a person could not have been more wrong about everything.
Is there anyone in American history?
Yeah.
That you can think of that had a name that was more appropriate than Dick Cheney?
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, he is a dick.
He's awful, and he's been wrong about everything.
Yeah,
it's impressive because I mean, I'm you haven't seen W yet, right?
No, I just got it today.
Okay.
Netflix.
Well, the thing that you walk away from that movie in is that and you can kind of see it now, especially Bush. He really was never running the show.
No,
ever. Like, if you look at what's been happening since, you've got Karl Rove and Dick Cheney all over TV and internet, granting every interview, talking to everybody as much as they can. Now that they're out of office, they refused to talk before.
Right.
But now that they're out of office, they're like chatty Cathy dolls pulling their own string. So what's happened but Bush has said nothing.
Right.
And so.
Because no one's told him what to say.
No, and I think that, and I think that basically what happened is that those dudes were running the ship up until he fired them both. Because when he fired Rove, you heard that story, didn't you?
No.
Oh wow!
I mean, I know he fired him, but I don't.
He fired him in church.
Really?
Because he didn't want a scene.
Wow.
The president of the United States is terrified about firing a guy because he thinks there'll be a problem. You can order a missile strike, and you're worried about this guy.
Yeah, wow.
And Cheney, of course, was looked upon as persona non grata after they got rid of Rumsfeld, to the point where there's never in the history of an American presidency have you had a guy that felt compelled to stand up and say, well, God damn it, I'm the decider.
Yeah.
And that was me. To me, that always sounded more like to himself than anything else. People obviously gave him a lot of shit after that, but I think that was more him really fucking wrestling with his own demons rather than anything else.
Well, and a lot of times you get the clue. There's always a clue when it comes to politics as to what's going on behind the scenes because the advisors will deny it. For example, it just happened here in Flint. For 2 weeks, all these bizarre last-minute personnel changes, and you kept hearing out of City Hall, well, Williamson's not going to resign. He's not resigning. He's not resigning. He's not resigning. Then guess what? I'm resigning. And so, you have these people that were advisors to President Bush throughout the 8 years of the administration. They'd say, oh, no, he's really smart.
Yeah.
He's very engaged.
Yes.
When you talk to him, it's very engaging. No one ever said that about Bill Clinton.
No, that's
no one
true.
ever said that about George Bush the senior. No one ever said that.
Nobody. Actually, people do say it about Barack Obama, though. Is it just because you think they're so surprised?
It's in a different way. And also, it's kind of like, it's kind of like when you get
he's plugged in,
right? When you get a new teacher, she lets us use ink, that kind of thing.
I thought that, and so I think that it's kind of interesting, and I wonder if Bush will ever just come out and say, "Look, I didn't run this thing," because I wonder if he's going to get that Scott McClellan disease, where it's just like, you know what, I was not in charge, and I've just got to say it.
Yeah,
that would
be. I doubt it. I don't think his ego would let him do that.
Why would? Well, it would be interesting.
He's got a Texas-sized ego,
He does, but then at the same time, once all these dudes, Scott McClellan and to a lesser degree Matthew Dowd, all these guys that were involved in the administration, David Quo, as soon as they got out of that bubble, they immediately started trying to repent for their sins. And I think that is the only way that maybe Bush could almost be looked upon as a tragic Greek power struggle with father figure, in the event that he just says, I got bowled over by fucking everything, and I didn't have the intelligence to be in this goddamn office. And that's the only way history will forgive him. Because what was it? The poll that just came out of the best and worst presidents, ranked the presidents in terms of efficacy. He came out as number. That was at least 36 or something like that.
Who was worse?
The weird one is they put William Henry Harrison in there, which the guy was fucking president for a month, and he was sick in bed the whole fucking time he did.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't seem like he ought to get a gimme.
Yeah, they ought to remove him. Actually,
yeah,
they ought to remove him. Yeah. The people that were worse than him, Nixon was better than him, because you got to give him China.
Nixon, yeah.
You got to give
Russia
and Russia.
Well, it's the Soviet Union.
Who else was below him? It was the bookend, the Lincoln bookends that were fucking awful. Buchanan and Douglas, was it?
No, Buchanan and I can't recall.
Yeah,
Johnson.
Because yes, that's what it was. Because they were just horrible. But there were some weird ones. Keith Olbermann pointed it out yesterday. All of a sudden, there's been a resurgence in the popularity of Ulysses S. Grant as president, even though he was just an alcoholic. But yeah, there was about 5. Bush wasn't in the bottom 5, but he was close. Hoover, I think, also made it into the bottom 5.
Oh yeah, Hoover.
You got to give it to Hoover, but at the same time, George Bush was so much worse because he did what Hoover did and then gave you 2 fucking unfinished wars too. Yeah. That raises the stakes.
Can you imagine how Hoover's legacy were Hoovervilles?
Yes.
That had to just. Wouldn't you hate it if your name was associated with cardboard box houses that people lived in during the Depression?
Yes, and everyone says that he's squarely responsible for what basically turned into 20 years of badness.
God, I hope they pulled it. I hope this stimulus today works.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought that. The thing is that you've got a very Reagan-esque president in Obama. It's very strange. Because here's a guy who, at the beginning of it, I thought he was going to be a Washington rat. That he was just going to be the guy walking up down the streets and kind of meeting with people. He really is going he's taking this to the House. He takes the goddamn stimulus bill to sign it in Denver today.
Oh, is that where they're doing it?
Yeah, they took it to Denver. And the reason why is because This is what they're doing apparently. He's starting off by signing the stimulus bill today, pointing out that a lot of the green jobs that are being created in this stimulus bill.
I hate the whole green movement. I mean, I don't. I mean, I think it's honorable, but do we have to call everything green?
Yes.
Come on.
Green,
really?
Green is the new.
Spare me.
Everyone's gonna be green. We're all going green.
It's green jobs.
Yeah.
Green energy.
Collar, which sounds like you.
Yeah,
just
green
threw
collar.
Up. Yeah. They're doing that. But that's part of it, and that's it because that's what he's doing with it. He's signing it in Denver. Mm-hmm. So then tomorrow, he's now going to Arizona, which is where the home foreclosure crisis has been especially bad, to announce the home foreclosure bill.
And McCain's avoiding him. Did you see him yesterday?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We were talking about this at your house. Boy, this guy loves a symbol, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And I swear to God, he really is. Just like
it's almost like he continues to run. Yeah. It's almost like he's continuing to campaign.
No, you know what? It's not. But I don't know because it's a different vibe. It's the bully pulpit. It's that thing where I'm going to go out and set the agenda. Bush did this too whenever he had problems. But he'd set up these weird town halls that were basically the questions were, your dick just looks so delicious. And I would love just to suck on that dick for about the next 25 minutes. Your answer?
Speaking of, did you see the town hall last week with that one kid that got up, looked like he was going to pass?
Oh my God, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. Somebody interviewed him. Mm-hmm. I can't remember who it was.
Did you see all of it? And he goes, and then Obama's like, what do you want to do? And then he goes, I'd be interested in, I want to major in communications, eventually become a DJ.
Yeah, I heard that.
And everybody in the country that works in radio went,
yeah, of course you do.
Of course you do.
We've all met that guy about 400 times.
Yeah, I want to be a DJ.
As a matter of fact, half the crowd at the machine shop are people
I want to be a DJ. Yeah. All right, do you have anything interesting to say? I love music. Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
That's great.
Actually, fuck it. That'll get you to the front of the line these days. Come on, step in. You love music? Let's talk about it. I get hard when I think about the Black Label Society.
Wow.
Comments?
No comment.
Zach Wilde.
Oh,
those
God.
fingers drive you nuts.
Yeah, there are these bands that we call music director wet dreams.
That's very much one of them.
Only radio station music directors like them. Radio station music directors and middle-aged women who don't leave the house and call radio stations.
I can think of one that you're talking about.
And Zach Wilde's one of them.
Did you hear the new Brother Kane's in?
Brother Kane, Jerry Cantrell.
Yes, I like him.
I do too, but we're radio geeks.
Yes, I'm aware.
He keeps trying to bring back Alice in Chains, and you know what I say about. If you ain't got no Lane Staley, you ain't got no Alice in Chains. Sorry.
Lane
did it to himself, but still.
Yeah, well, it's a new singer every once in a while.
Yeah, they'll have a new singer, and they're like, it's like this guy that sings for Journey. And everyone always goes,
that guy's good.
Yeah, but everybody, he sounds just like Steve Perry. Yeah, but he's not Steve Perry.
Dude, this guy sounds better than Steve Perry. To the point where they re-recorded all the songs and it sounds exactly the same.
But what is the point of recording all these songs so they sound exactly the same?
To fuck him on the royalties. That's one.
I guess, yeah.
But because I was watching the Super Bowl, and here comes Journey with the fucking kid, the naked girl running down the street covered in napalm from the Vietnam War.
Really?
It's what he looks like.
Oh, okay.
You see the picture?
I know the picture you mean.
Yeah, well,
that's what this guy looks like.
Looks exactly like that fucking person, and I'm like sitting there, and all of a sudden, just a small town boy. Like I'm like, God damn!
Wow,
he nails it. It sounds exactly the same to the point where you don't even fucking notice. It's beautiful.
But it ain't Steve Perry.
Fuck Steve Perry. Stay at home. Because you know what? He had every opportunity to get back in that band. They re-recorded all the songs and fucking replaced him. So now he doesn't get the royalties anymore when they go on the road. I think that's fucking hilarious.
All right, well.
I love that.
I disagree.
I love that bit. It's really good.
Also, In Excess tried it too.
Yeah, but that's different. That guy had that. See, because like Steve Perry is a guy. Well, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
That guy had absolutely no emotion. It was just an operatic kind of, thing that you're gonna very very musical, right? You got to hit the notes. You're in an Andrew Lloyd Webber play. But the dude from In Excess, that was like Morrison. That was like a really and I don't like the Doors, but it was a really breathy thing that like had a lot of personality to it. So you can't do that again.
Well, let's take the Doors for example. At least they call it. Don't they call themselves something else?
Yes, yeah,
like
they do.
The Doors Part 2 or something.
Well, that's because
at least they're pointing out that what, you're going to come to the show.
Yeah,
we're going to play these songs. But it's not really the Doors. It's close to the Doors.
Yeah.
But it's not the Doors.
But the Doors were all about Jim Morrison and sold themselves as such. As big as Nirvana was, there was never going to be a day when the album came out and it's just Kurt Cobain's face. But the Doors did. And I think that's the difference. Kind of like the Beatles. I don't understand or like why no one has a problem with John Bonham's kid.
I was just thinking about that. But that's the drummer.
Yeah, exactly. And they never were necessarily selling the guys in the band. It was like it was kind of a conglomeration. Even though you're coming out of the Yardbirds,
but they're gonna come. They're supposedly getting back together without Robert Plant.
Yeah, but Robert Plant.
Listen,
yeah, that's true.
If you ain't got no Robert Plant, you ain't got no Led Zeppelin. I mean, that's even bigger than Alice in Chains.
I agree with you, but even with Robert Plant, that ain't no Led Zeppelin because Robert Plant lost his range a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, remember when what was it? Page and Plant. It was that note.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that where they played a lot of Led Zeppelin songs, but they were tuned down to the basement.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a lonely, 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 lonely time.
Exactly. It's been a long time since I rock and rolled.
Hey, you need love.
I saw them on the Page Plant tour in '94.
Yeah.
They had a woman off stage signing. They did. There was a woman doing sign language.
Weren't you the same guys that fucked a groupie with a shark?
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna have a sign language.
What the hell?
Yeah. Oh my God, that's funny as hell. But I always hated that. It was like because Page was always because Robert Plant was always the guy that would hold the microphone out at those shows.
Yeah.
Because I saw a bunch of them on TV. I didn't actually see it live, but he's just like every song he's putting it out here because like he
can't hit it anymore.
He cannot hit the not even close. It's like that bit we were playing from back when we were on the air from when Van Halen was touring again in the summer, and he just couldn't hit it.
Yeah.
He wasn't anywhere near it.
Well,
like,
I mean,
might as well jump.
Jump. Yeah. David Lee Roth used to get way high.
Yeah, he did.
I mean,
But those days
let's
are
face
over.
it, we've all tried it in our car.
Absolutely.
And you just can't do it.
As long as that music doesn't shut off, I can still live in denial. I still sound just as good as I did in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's it. I don't even know how we got into this. We're officially backed into a corner. So, do you want to take a quick break?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, a little break, a little music. Although we don't have anyone to smoke.
Yeah, none of us, smoke.
All right, let me